Hello everybody. How y'all doing? I decided to do my Ukraine report out here in Los Angeles live. Dark skies, news and information. The return. Nah, we ain't going away. I just was under the weather for a few days, so I had to, fight off these earthly illnesses. But anyway, I did meet the deadline for the Ukraine report, so here it is. Also, a lot of the things that we were taking is going to be in the year-end fashions as we look back on 2022, the year it was, and what did we learn from this Ukrainian-Russian conflict and this applications, and what does it mean to humanity going forward in warfare and drone technology and the human wielding of such technology and the difference that it makes. We're going to get into all of that, so sit down, make yourselves comfortable. We just found the number one podcast in the entire multiverse. Dark skies, news and information, and we're here to talk about drone tech and drone wars. Oh my God. Okay, well, it taught us something, and we're going to let you know. Get back and say good night. Welcome to the epicenter, Los Angeles, California. The home of Dark Skies News and Information, and the center of all the strange, weird, and it's downright offensive. Anyway, we have a lot to cover today, so it's a beautiful day in the city of LA, as every day is. I mean, I have pushed many days for, more, outdoors shows, because I love the sunlight, I love the air, I love I love the city. This is like, the heartbeat of America, right? It's beating and it's pumping, creativity and beauty, of the country's most talented. And, well, we're starting to see, like, some of the things that I predicted, but, it kind of, like, fell off. And I can tell you even why. Now, we are in a new time, people. Now, think about it. Mikey, how many times have I told you that, technology would, like, change, how humans look, see, do, appropriate. I mean, everything. It's amazing. I mean, we're looking at, like, advancements, right? AI technology, and I've covered that. And I have a vast array of shows coming up on that subject. Yeah. So if you like that, then you're really going to like the drone technology and the advancements of humans by wielding the technology of, well, AI and wielding the abilities. I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, it's even, was achieved in the, the Black Panther movie. And when I do my movie review at the end, well, it's gonna be in December, right? In a couple of weeks, right? Well, y'all be happy to see how that's been like connected. And what they're trying to tell you is like the advancements of technology is gonna, replace the failings of man. Now I know what you're thinking. The failings of man. Yes, the failing of man, the failure of man, the obsolete man. I mean, if one thing has been, definitely written in stone, understood, realization, propagation, I don't care how you want to put it. It's one thing that is for certain. The way we used to do things is over. And, I'm talking about like old Soviet Russia. I mean, you can run back to the past. I understand. It's awesome to understand the past, but it also could be problematic. Anyway, that's another subject for another day. But anyway, it's something that we've basically been, observing in this Ukraine-Russia conflict. And, you must understand. I mean, we have spent our entire lifetime basically, studying human conflict. I mean, from all the wars, from Alexander the Great to Genghis Khan, to Vladimir Putin. I mean, it's always, a protagonist. But anyway, we see things, as the, the world, right? It's, its own history. History is happening like right before us, in front of our eyes. You may not know this, but, with everything that we do, every decision that we make, it's recorded in the digital information that, creates this universe, this galaxy, this experience that, we're experiencing on a day by day, minute to minute, second to second, basis. We're right now. So, let's talk about now. Now we have reached a certain point in, the evolution of, humans, mankind, AI, a kind. This is like the time when, you had things that were separate. You used to have the humans. Now, let's talk about human conflict. Let's talk about, bring it into perspective for a second so people could, understand, the vast changes in the incredible applications that, we have become a pervert to. And I'm saying all of us is not just one person. It's not like a comic book where, there's vibranium and it's only in Wakanda and Wakandas have advanced, but no one else. No. It's what I envisioned, and it's incredible that we have reached this point so fast. It's like, boom, hit you in the face, even before you could, realize what was happening. But, it's there. And I do want to thank some of the people that are joining us because, people don't always catch us live. But if you're catching us live, it's awesome. Welcome. You're at the very beginning. Now, think about this, people. Think about this. We're thinking about the applications of, drone technology and the drone wars. And this is the Ukraine report. But, I'm not here to, talk about, no battles, no actual war map today. We'll probably do that, upcoming in the next report. But anyway, this report this is like a report that's like looking back, on the Ukraine, like Russia whole thing, because we can go back to like February, like when all of this was like jumping off, and people would say, "Oh my God, Russia is they're invading. It's over." Like 48 hours. We was like, asking, Zelensky, like, you want us to evacuate you? And I remember those days. Because they're like, they coming in, they got a lot of tanks, and they're like, they coming. I mean, not just how they coming, I mean, I know you see them. We all see them. And, those days, was like the last days that something like that could ever happen on Earth. We witnessed the last day of a humanized, generalized, strategic-oriented, graced, hopeful, human, strategic plan of, forced anything. Those days over. Humans, force nothing, no more. It's over. That's it. Now, let's, talk about what just happened and why I say that, humans will never, ever do anything like this ever again. We have witnessed the most incredible advancement in human hybrid drone capability. I mean, humans wielding drones in war against other humans wielding drones. I mean, it was something that I predicted, but it's like only the beginning, because humans are at the point where they're understanding the applications of this technology. Like, this technology it's infinite. You could come up with so many different ways to apply strategic advantage to a drone. I mean, I've been doing this and wanting to do this for so long until there were laws created, saying of course we can't do that, but oh my God, it's almost like saying that we have a car and everybody has to drive the exact same car. There wasn't many different car companies and many different cars, sizes and vans and SUVs and trucks. I mean, when you think about the sheer application. I used the cough button, Mikey. Well, it's right there, I mean. Jennifer saw me about to call. She could have did it too. Anyway, the sheer magnitude of the just different things that you can do as far as, like, we're talking just weaponizing drones. I mean, just imagine when somebody really start to apply, ideas and technology and different things that you can, use these things for. I mean, from the surveillance to, to the capturing of, targets, to the elimination of targets. I mean, it's a centralized unit, drones. It's, I don't know, it's just so much that, people could, come up with. And it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, everybody's, on an even playing field when it comes to this. I mean, think about it. Now, we're looking at the Ukraine report, and we're looking at the drones that are in play. Now, drone technology is, as the the most advanced human form of weaponry that's ever been presented on a natural or any type of battlefield to the point, well, to this extent. I mean, yes, America's been using drones. Oh, yes, they've been, very on top and ahead of the curve when it comes to drone technology. But America's only at the very, they just scratching the surface, and they'll figure it out soon. I mean, everybody will. But this is why this is so exciting. And I hate to say exciting, but you'll understand why I'm excited. Because the applications is endless. I mean, you can, have health drones. You can have, search and rescue drones. You can have, drones that, could, go down and, get people that were engorged. I mean, the applications of this technology is endless. I mean, but, it's only stopped by your sheer, imagination. Now, anyway, think about this. This technology has never been implemented to this point. Now, it's been, technology, to the point where it's there. I mean, America wields this. I mean, there are other countries that, have it to a certain degree, but, to the point of weaponization. Now, let's talk about weaponization. And, there's different forms, right? There's defensive and there's offensive capabilities of drone tech. Now, drone tech could provide you a wielder, vast advantages on a natural battlefield. Now, think about a natural battlefield. In the past, we had, let's talk about Russia. Now, Russia going into Ukraine at the beginning of the Ukraine war, Russia had basically battle plans. Now, these things have been implemented throughout human history and human conflict. This is basically how things was done. Now, we had a strategic goal. We had the manpower. We have the iron. We have the weaponry, and we have the firepower and the ships and the planes, and we have everything, supporting each other. It's a military complex. Now, within this military complex, you have heads of state. You have people who think, and basically they come up with plans and strategies in order to basically to take out an enemy or to accomplish a goal. Now, okay, goal accomplishment in this wasn't basically human specific. Basically, you move a lot of people in one place and hopefully, overwhelm, an opponent. It's the shock and awe, the blitzkrieg. It's the only thing that humans know that actually works. The physically, manpower, iron, more guns, more bombs, more planes, more everything. Overwhelm an opponent to the point of submission, or just absolute obliteration. Carpet bombing. So it's. It's to the point now we see that, those days, doing things are actually, it's over, because everything is now human specific. The new battlefield is actually mapped out, from space, and it's connected with satellites, and, you're getting all this information, and it's controlled by all these different AIs and all of these systems. These systems are put in place to support each system, and now it's a technological military complex. And if you place a technological advanced species, it's almost like us being placed back in the past in World War I, and we have our advancements today. We would dominate, right? Well, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing advancements in, human technology being used on the battlefield, and, drones and its applications and uses were endless, but even just the beginning uses, have shown such incredible results. It's real incredible results. It made it possible, for, a superior military, at the moment. When it went into Ukraine, they had the numbers, the forces, the weapons, the everything, There was nobody's saying that Ukraine had a chance to do anything. Especially, like I said, they were saying after about 48 hours, we, can't, we could try to get you out. I just remember the reports. All the countries were offering to, to evacuate, with President Zelensky, and he refused, like, no, I ain't going nowhere, because even though Russia seemed more, dominant, it was the technology and the wielder of that technology, it not just evened the playing field, and evened the, it put Russia vastly at a disadvantage. Now, in old warfare, you have like things that you have to be responsible for. Okay, so let's look at Russia's military. Russia's military has assets. Now, assets are people, which are the troops, and the weapons that the troops wield, use, and, conduct, the campaign that you hope they will accomplish. Now, in old time military, because I'm saying old time, even though this wasn't old time, this was just February. But I'm calling it old times ways of doing things. You have to, account for your assets, because you don't want to lose your assets in, military, campaign. You want to, protect those at all costs, and you want to accomplish a campaign at the least cost of your assets. But anyway, let's look at the assets of a military, like what Russia presents to the what I call the natural battlefield, which is Earth. Okay, Russia has a very strong tank contingent. One of the largest, if not the largest, in the world. Okay, Russia also had many, many, many soldiers. Had soldiers that, they were borrowing. I mean, they had soldiers that, they were hiring. Russia dealing mercenaries, and, it's endless ways that, Russia, has people, that, they could, conduct campaigns in many different ways. This is the reason that they do things in, the ways that they do it, because the old ways is, you cover all bases. You have your troops, you go to war with a country, you got your mercenaries if you have a problem with a group or a terrorist group. I mean, they've, done, many campaigns, and then they have the support of these regimes, the puppet governments, in order to, the insert influence in the old Soviet circles. But anyway, that's, really left gone now, because the past is, they said what they were going to do. The past is, they'll kill it if it doesn't get out the way. The past is over. Now, the way of looking at things is the old ways of the military. You have to support your assets now. Your assets are sitting in the ocean. You have a pretty strong naval force, and you have an air force, and you have, technology said to be on par with other superpowers, namely India, Pakistan, China, America, and blah, blah, blah. NATO. Anyway, this is not true, because Russia is moving things and doing things in an ancient way, even though it was just February. It's the old way. It doesn't work anymore, and Russia just proved it in the most costly way of proving it. Anyway, going in to all human conflicts, you had to move your assets in position to best, get your results that you hope to accomplish. Okay, like when America went into the Middle East, okay, we sent troops to the Middle East. Went into Kuwait, and boom, Iraq, and okay. Same thing with Russia. Russia goes into Ukraine. Okay, you have to move your assets. You have to move people, and you have to move the weapons that they wield, and you have to basically, account for both. Therefore, you have to feed the people. You got to keep them warm. You got to keep them dressed, keep them boots, keep them, give them socks. Just little small stuff. But, we call it logistics. You have this many troops, you should have, that many more socks. Or wear that many more underwear. Or wear that many more, vests or helmets. I mean, you're sending them in and hope that they would accomplish a campaign that you decree necessary. Therefore, if you say that it's necessary enough to put the blood of your people, on the line, that you give them the best tools and the best weaponry necessary. Okay, best weaponry means that, you have the most advanced weapons and the most, I'm going to get back to that. The most necessary weaponry in order to conduct the campaign that you are hoping to conduct. Okay, in our situation, we're looking in, at the Russian military. Okay, we're sending our mobile infantry in, our armies, our soldiers in. Okay, we hope to take land and we hope to hold land and we hope to be, greeted as heroes as we arrive to these places. Okay, in the first 5 hours, 6 to 10 to 8 to 12 hours of this campaign, it should have been painfully but incredibly obvious that you are not being, received as heroes. And you're not getting a hero's welcome. And I'm being real nice by saying that it would have taken you 12 hours to realize that, this aspect of your intelligence was, painfully and woefully incorrect. And that's another thing that I want to get into, the old way of doing things. Old way of doing things is we use something called intelligence. Intelligence is basically a few, if not, a small group of people who are said to be intelligent, looking and trying to, figure out, what the other group of, people are doing in the other country that are supposed to be intelligent. I mean, but anyway, it's absolutely stupid. Anyway, this is what intelligence give you. Intelligence give you, a person's or team's best guess of the other side's reaction to the things that you're doing or planning to do. I mean, what if I do this? What would they do, or what could they do? Well, they can't do nothing. I mean, they'll, be afraid that we're there, and, they'll give us hugs and be happy to see us. They're like, well, what about plan B? The plausibility that they're not happy to see us and that we show up and, they resist. Because it was painfully obvious that moments after they entered this country that these people resisted, and they resisted to this day. But anyway, the old ways of doing things meant that, we had to move our assets, therefore we had to move our people, we had to move the weapons that they wield, and we had to, keep these things, ready. We call it military ready, war ready, ready to do what you're asking them to do. Anyway, let's get past that. Okay, Russia has an old-time military, and it's not old, it's just from February. But the old-time military meant that we had to get the troops, the tanks, and everything to Kyiv. If we're going to take Ukraine, we'll take Kyiv by, just sending all our tanks there. And they won't have nothing that stop us. We'll just roll over their land, blitzkrieg style, and, in the past that would have worked. But, you're not fighting Poland of the 20s, 1918 Poland, everything is more advanced now. This battleground has been mapped out by AIs and computers. Every nook, every cranny, every inch of this battlefield has been mapped out from space. I can't even begin to tell y'all the information that has been gathered long before we have reached this point. But because people don't really have this awareness, they really can't see what happened, you know. But you seen a superior military force that was conducted old styles, moving an old military, old tanks, old, submarines, all these things are seen, mapped. Every inch of this earth is the natural battlefield. And Russia never understood that, it's levels. It is levels. It's levels of technology that is beyond their comprehension at the moment, but they can advance. Everybody will, because everybody's seen the results that, just wielding drone technology gave Russia a way to back in, because, they wasn't, implementing this in their current military complex and the way that they actually, use their way of seeing things, because they thought that brute human force, is the answer. It's always been the answer. Still, bombs and human men holding machine guns and, running on side of huge tanks. Well, no. Automated weaponry, laser-guided systems, digitally mapped battleground, enhanced in human technology and human-specific targeting. You attack a bunch of civilians, boom, they kill your general who did it. I mean, it's a level of intel that's beyond comprehension at the moment, but it's only going to, become more and more pronounced, because this is the new way of doing things, and anybody who try to do anything the old ways is going to look exactly like this. Even Iran has shown that their embracement of technology has advanced them to the point of even during these times, these conflicts, they name keep coming up because the weaponry and the technology, it comes from them. Even though it's something that anybody can do, but since they have embraced it and started doing it, they have placed themselves as a strategic ally to a country that used to be a strategic ally to them. They have placed themselves at a higher level because of technology and their embracement of it than a country that used to be over them. Technology is the reason that, this war has gone so badly for Russia, because, any human conflict that relies on humans to do anything. And we're talking logistics, we're talking manpower, we're talking getting the job done. Any military complex campaign being done on Earth is at a strategic disadvantage. I don't care how many people you have, how many bombs you have, how many billions you spent on each one of your aircraft that are grounded because of laser and automated and, drone efficient weaponry. And this technology goes from underwater drones, air to ground drones, human, killers. Surveillance. I mean, it's only the beginning of the type of things that are being done with, the tech, and how quickly the tech has advanced over just a short time, and how more and more people who are just like me, these are people who understand the science of war and understand that what we have seen is a strategic shift Now, let's talk about it real quick, the strategic shift. This is a strategic shift in human conflict that says that humans are shit in a war, and with drone technology, humans, well, can not be shit in a war. Human can find value in conflict now because, with the help of technology. Now, without technology, you have, Russia, big, strong, powerful, and, the old way of doing things, which was just February. Now, this is the speed of the technology and advancement of warfare and the battlefield changing in such a short amount of time. And I'm time specific on this because how much y'all are caught up in this time thing. So since February, the old way of doing things and versus the way we should never do things versus the way we most likely will see countries, dictators, rulers, anybody that got a fucking brain and the ability to, see and comprehend that, humans are shit in a war. Humans are shit in a battle. Humans are shit in a campaign. Unless you have human-specific duties set up by, strategic goals with AI and, drone tech. Drone tech makes, you vastly more competitive in not just the battlefield, but, oh my God, in every aspect of existence. With drone technology, you can advance yourself to the ability of, each person, if they would like, could become, vastly more advanced than, unfortunately, countries right now. Countries are so far behind, and Russia just took it on the chin, realizing that, your lack of embracement of AI. Now, let's talk about the difference right now, real quickly, between Russia and our friends over here in China. Now, China has embraced technology, and their advancement in AI, and, it's a lot farther than America. And you think America is advanced. Can you imagine some of the things that China can, do? If I'm not mistaken, they were the first ones to embrace, this technology, this AI, this automated abilities. Now, automated abilities is something that's going to be next applied to drone tech, to give drone tech the ability to do what I'm predicting it's going to do for just humans. Now, humans right now are shit. Period. Pathetic. Now, we saw the abilities of troops in the battlefield, and it's woefully bad. As a matter of fact, the reason we was able to see it is, tech, drone tech. Anyway, we have seen troops mass. We have seen troops invade. We have seen troops march and move across land. We have seen troops get logistically stranded. We have seen troops run, out of weaponry, out of ammo. We've seen poor everything that you would have asked a human to do in this campaign was woefully done. And we're talking about on the side of Russia. I'm not speaking on the side of Ukraine because this is not Ukrainian military technology that we're discussing. So, let's make that clear. We're not talking about the mighty, specific, oriented, technology-driven, they are now, but this is not their technology, these are not their tactics, this is not their intel. But, they wield it quite well, and like I said, human-specific targeting attacks, and, can only be accomplished with the type of technology that I'm talking about. So, when I say human-specific, I mean you attack specific human targets and also intel, strategic and logistical targets and supply. And it's actually pretty easy. So that's why I say the way of old ways of doing things is forever over, because military scientists will be able to look at, the disadvantages of having a large armored group, go in, with all your guys in, on foot and tanks and trucks that got more guys in it, and then another truck to get the supplies for the guys and another truck to get the supplies for their weapons. And, well, it's a horrible idea. And, that's, with the AI, we'll be able to look at that and quickly say, well, just destroy that and that. And the rest of them are, I feel sorry for them. I mean, this is completely new ways of seeing war and seeing the battlefield and seeing the movement of troops. No more movement of troops. Not like that. No more massing of troops. No. I mean, all that shit is stupid and retarded and dumb. And now, it's going to be removed from the element of human just life, because we'll never have to see like a fucking gang of fucking Germans or a gang of fucking, angry ass British or angry ass fucking French. I don't know who else be tripping over there in Europe. I mean, yeah, that shit ain't gonna happen no more, because anytime you amass, everybody on Earth is gonna know it. And, you could call like the president of France, like, what the fuck, man? And, now, you can call Putin and, you can call him out, if he said, well, I'm not invading, I'm not about to do, dude, like, I can send you pictures of your dudes, invading. It's, it's beyond reprehensible to behave in such savage ways when such information is available for the entire world to ratify and, well, contemplate. It's a stupid place in history, but I'm happy that it's over. It's dark and dogmatic and holds back the advancement of a species that has the ability to grow but has been slow in development. Now, humans at the moment is slow. That's why we've seen such poor performance on the battlefield. This can never be done, ever, even try to be done ever again. The people of China, the people of America, the people of UK, everybody on Earth should be looking at this and like, trying to move this many people to this location in hopes to do this is asinine. Because there's so many different things that, present obstacles and, different things that you can't take in accountability because your intelligence is actually not intelligent. I mean, you can be intelligent by your own means of intelligence. As, like, okay, I'm smart enough. Okay, but, wow, what does that mean? Intelligence is not intelligence until proven, well, effective or valuable. What's the turnout? I mean, what do you get from this information? If it's nothing, or if it's the wrong information, or it could cause, irreparable ruin. Anyway, we could look at, what happened at the very beginning to this point now. The Ukraine report tells, the Earth that in 2022, we have learned that humans are shit in a war without technology. Now, human-specific targeting and human-specific, well, technology, humans wielding technology would now be, well, the new go forward on Earth. I mean, all that money we spent on all these nuclear weapons and nuclear energy and nuclear battleships, and this shit is fucking useless. You know why? Because drone technology is much cheaper, much more effective, and yields, well, much greater results, especially when trying to accomplish the goals that I hoped that my campaign would accomplish. Now, putting your faith in humans, complete disaster. Humans on the battlefield was, well, woeful. I mean, from every part. I mean, you just can't really motivate humans to do inhuman things, I guess, if they're not mercenaries, murderers, people who do inhuman things all the time. But if you think about technology asks you to do inhuman things, and, well, it's inhuman. So it's no problem. So you have everything from a suicide drone to an underwater drone to a, drone that, well, blows up cities to just a gas station or, power lines. Or it's just, it's specific attacks. And I call it human specific because it's attack human infrastructure, human resources, human supplies, and human, logistics. Without all these things, war is not capable. You cannot complete a campaign, it's not feasible if you're doing things the old way. But if you're doing things the new way, everything is, mapped. Everything is, you know where everything is and how you can, subvert and, conduct reactions. Because the craziest part of, the new war is the reaction, not the attraction. The attraction is the invasion, and ooh, oh my God, and everybody start to look. That's the attraction. But the reaction, technology. You technologically advanced Ukraine to the point where they were able to react. And reaction can always be stronger than, first action. When gods of war know this. It's not always the action, it's the reaction. It's not always the cause, it's the effect. So it's something that we have seen, we are a privy to. It is, matter of fact, suicide, to mass a group of people that you call your kinsmen, people that you love, people that you consider human, and send them into a meat grinder where there are bombs, missiles, tanks, and, and mines. Like, there are drone removal mines. You use your drones for mine removal. Oh my God, drones can fix everything that humans lack. And what we lack is everything, You don't want to keep sending troops places where you have to feed these motherfuckers. You got to put socks on their feet. You got to take them away from their families. You got to, hope they conduct a campaign as brutally as you want them to, even though they might be a fucking lawyer or a goddamn newspaper paper boy or some shit. Come on, humans are not made for such horrible acts, but these drones will do exactly what a human could never do, and do it, like I said, a lot more efficiently. And we just saw what happens when you ask humans to do anything. Humans are shit in a war. When it gets cold, you have to keep them warm. Humans are shit in a war. If they get bogged down, you got to dig trenches and continue to funnel supplies into them. Humans are shit in a war. If you have humans in a war, then you have to logistically move supplies, food, and medical supplies into areas where your troops are located, and you got to funnel your wounded out, and humans are shit in a war. If you have to supply weaponry that is not automated or not specifically oriented for the job that you're asking it to do, well, tanks are shit in a war. If you have to line your tanks up in a line where one goes and the next one goes behind it and the next one goes behind it, and then you have some guys in a truck that every once in a while jump out, and humans and tanks are shit in a war. Everything that you do is far as like what we used to do, like having an old ass plane fly through the sky and drop a whole bunch of shit, because it'll be saw taken off. It'll be seeing you loading it. Like, okay, they got their bomb loaded, on their bomber. Look, their bomber's leaving the, come on. Everything is mapped. Every fucking thing is known. If something happens because they allowed it to happen, missiles can be shot down out of the air by, other missiles. And, these missiles are like drones. You know, they seek and they knock out missiles out the sky. I mean, it's incredible. You know, ask the Israelis. I'm telling y'all, technology changes, well, everything. And it makes humans obsolete. Obsolete. On the battlefield, we don't need them no more. I mean, we've seen what they do. It's bad. Now, you mean to tell me that I don't give a fuck if these motherfuckers were the first, second, third fucking army on Earth, saying that they were the third best army on Earth. If this is what happens when you face, well, an enemy that you are not familiar with the capabilities that you're not familiar with. Like, they're not coming at us with guns. Like, the fuck, man? You hear those drones over our head? We fucking dead. It's completely new warfare. It's a completely new way of doing things. It's a complete new human evolution. And at this point, it's no turning back. Because anybody who don't embrace it will look just like our brothers in Russia, you know, and our brothers in Ukraine. You know, you forced to change in mid-stride. You know, you could go in one force and leave another force. And that's what happened. Russia went in an ancient way of doing things, which was just February. And now they have upgraded themselves to using, well, you know, the drones from Iran. And to them, that's an improvement, you know, because now they have drone tech to their arsenal. And just because of that, they are able to, well, still do something. And without that, they could do nothing. Now, think about it, people. This technology has changed not just this, but everybody's way of thinking. Everybody has the ability to see this. Everybody knows that this will create incredible, advantageous, well, it's good all the way around if you apply it correctly, and even a little bit of, you know, could just keep you in the game. But I think everybody should all out embrace this, because